Hey, it's Tuesday. The fun don't stop. The snow don't stop up here in Pittsburgh. I'm Dominic D'Angelo of adfreeshows.com, podcast, Heat Wrestling, and Studio1Sports.com. Hey, Robert is back. He's WWE Creative _ish. Welcome back, Robert. Happy Tuesday to you. I know it's snowing down there in Florida.
I'm trying to figure out what the hell podcat heat is.
I know. I got razor on the brain. That's it. That's my issue.
Happy to be here. Welcome everybody. Here's what I love. Wasn't here yesterday. Apologize for that. I was stuck doing some stuff for the real world job. Completely lost track of time. Was on a call that had lasted for several hours, and all of a sudden I went, "Oh, I better figure out when I'm doing Rumor and Innuendo." And then I looked, and it was 12:50.
Yeah.
This is how I know I wasn't here yesterday. Don forgot to take the bug out from the top corner of the screen.
Ooh, look at that.
It's still sitting there, but happy to be here. Happy to be joining all of you all on this. It's a brisk morning here. We got a little bit of the Arctic whatever. Like I walked out this morning, it was 38 degrees outside. And for Florida, when you walk out in shorts and a t-shirt and 38 degrees, you feel it. If I would have gotten this story later, that would have been a good opportunity for a Blue Chew ad. But we'll put a pin in that right now. We'll say hi to the folks. Cammy Star says, after morning, guys, who's with me in a group trip to escape this cold? Yeah, I got to get out of it's 61 degrees here.
Robert, enough.
There are frozen iguanas littering the road. I saw 3 today.
Oh, my God.
3 iguanas, just like blocks of ice.
I had to shovel my walkway and my apartment complex steps, and I do not envy people that have driveways up here. It's what a process.
I was peek behind the curtain. I was not supposed to be here this week. I was supposed to be on the road in beautiful Raleigh, North Carolina. Didn't go because they were supposed to get at one point up to 20 inches of snow. And the beautiful thing about Raleigh is they seemingly can't handle a hurricane or snow. No. The only natural disaster North Carolina is equipped for is Ric Flair.
Woo, baby.
Woo. Wanda Breeze says, hello, R&I. Did Robert brave the elements today to make it to the pod? I did get a message from someone who asked legitimately, are you secretly on your way to Saudi Arabia?
Royal Rumble entrance number 4.
It's like I'm making the walk down that ramp. My bump card is full, pal. Wrestling Old Head says, good after morning, my R&I peeps. Hope everyone is staying warm. Judging by the conclusion of Raw, will a 5th match be added? That's an interesting question. For half a second, I forgot how Raw ended. I'm not going to lie. Willie Thornbrew says, have we seen AJ Styles' last wrestling appearance on Raw? We'll talk about that in a moment.
Yes.
By the way, the spoiler, I believe, is yes.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. So yesterday, by the time that I wrapped up everything with work and all that, Scott Chaplin, whom I love, was like, hey, we had to record the Working Stiff Patreon. And the first opportunity we got a chance to do it was at like 6:30 at night, which is super late for me as an old man. And we were talking about AJ, and he's like, I just don't believe he's going to retire. I said, here's how you know for a fact AJ Styles is going to retire. You can go check the tape if you are a Working Stiff Patreon subscriber. There's only one match AJ Styles has not had in WWE, and it's CM Punk. And if they wind up doing AJ Styles CM Punk on Raw, AJ is gone.
Yeah.
And the second AJ Styles and CM Punk were face-to-face in the ring, I texted the Working Stiff co-host and said, well, AJ's gone.
Right? It's I really had a hard time believing that his last match would have been in Saudi Arabia, and a lot of the other elements just going into it, like the fact that it was kind of rushed and stuff. And I did not think it would happen, but I mean, this is kind of a pretty good indicator.
To quote one of my favorite Simpsons lines of all time, the fingers mean the money. Mm-hmm. And if AJ Styles is going to retire and WWE can pitch this to Saudi Arabia as, here's why you're paying us tens of millions of dollars, we're giving you what a moment, what an opportunity. John Cena retires in the nation's capital, but AJ Styles is retiring in beautiful Riyadh. A couple folks are suggesting that he may wind up in AEW. I don't think he's going to wind up in AEW because at the end of the day, well, AJ Styles loves and respects the craft of professional wrestling. His primary responsibility is as a husband, as a father.
Yeah.
His one goal is how can I secure that sort of long-term wealth and financial security for my family? And as long as he is in the WWE ecosystem, he's part of the WWE family, he's a legend. That's what Jim Ross always called mailbox money. You go to your
Mhm.
mailbox, you're getting a check. You're going to be in the video games. You're going to be on the physical media DVD specials if they actually still release any physical media. They're still going to make action figures out of you. There's still going to be T-shirts. There's going to be phenomenal wristbands still in WWE shop. You go to AEW, you're not guaranteed any of that. And AJ has made this decision to basically retire because he's looking to do what's best for his family and spend some time with his kids. And to that end, for all the parents out there with teenagers, which I'm a month away from joining this world. I'm
Are you really? I didn't know that. Oh yeah, I guess you are. Jeez.
Jeez. All right. I was trying to do an ad read and you interrupted it because I gotta point this out here. This is why
Yeah.
Dom is the best producer in wrestling podcast history. I invited Dom to my daughter's bat mitzvah, which
Yes.
is next month, which is her
Yes.
13th birthday. Um, Dom, I'm begging.
I
Anyway,
know.
for all the parents out there with teenagers, we know you're already trying to keep a million different things under control, like your dumbass co-hosts. Cash App is here to make sure your teens' money and their spending isn't adding to the craziness. Cash App is designed to meet teens ages 13 to 17 where they are with intuitive educational tools. Available through sponsorship by eligible parents or guardians, teens gain access to a personalized Cash App card that comes in different colors and patterns to fit their style and the ability to instantly access money from the family and friends. Cash App makes managing money feel easier and honestly just cooler than other options out there. It's a tool that can help teens develop real world financial habits in a space that's safe and easy to navigate. And finally, no one wants unnecessary surprises. With Cash App, there are no monthly fees, no minimum balance requirements, and no hidden charges. With the Cash App card, you and your teen's balance receive 24/7 fraud monitoring. And if something ever feels off, you have the ability to lock the card right then and there. For a limited time, new Cash App customers can earn $10 if they use code FAMILY10 in their profile at sign up and send $5 to a friend within 14 days. Terms apply. Cash App is a financial services platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by Cash App's bank partners, prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC, direct deposit and promotions provided by Cash App, a Block Inc. brand. Visit cash.app/legal/podcast for full disclosures. I have fully prepared all this for my daughter. Thankfully, she's in the other room. She doesn't hear this, but this will be coming her way in about a month's time. So
Gee.
she'll be a better manager of her money than the Nature Boy Ric Flair, who's just taking strays left and right here today.
You're
Dom,
really hammering home Ric Flair today.
we love Rick. We love his whole family. You can take the graphic off the screen now.
Oh,
It's
yes.
there. You go.
Boom.
Anyway,
Anywho.
Monday Night Raw was last night, Dom.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't bad, Robert. I liked it overall, I think. There was some stuff that a lot of time filler in certain ways, I would say.
I was just gonna say, like, I went the total. I was all ready to be like, man, did I not like Monday Night Raw? Doug SmackDown from Friday. I thought it was a solid build. Saturday night's main event. Generally enjoyed Saturday night's main event. I don't know what your take on it was yesterday, but I thought it did a nice job of building some compelling stories going into the Rumble. Raw absolutely felt like we are doing the safest, most boring 2.5 hour presentation possible to not rock the boat. There was nothing on that Raw that I found compelling to make me want to tune into the Royal Rumble, but I'm curious where you're at.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you take it from the grand scope of it all, nothing like really earth-shattering happened except AJ versus Punk as like a match to highlight everything. You did kind of get the finish with Finn at the end and all that, but I think it kind of just set a little bit of an understandable go home table for Saudi Arabia. So while some of the stuff was really long in the tooth, like, I mean, the most unnecessary entrance for the Vision before they went to commercial break and then they cut a promo was, wow, you're really spacing out the time here a lot.
Well, I think the idea was, hey, stay tuned. You're going to get to hear Paul Heyman versus, hey, stay tuned. You're going to see Austin Theory.
Yeah.
He feels so far and away the least special, the least important, the least essential member. Just get rid of this dude. I don't need him as part of the vision. I want him to be successful. I want him to find a path forward, but he is just absolute dead weight in the way that some of the folks in AEW and some of their stables have felt.
Do you think the onus is on him or the way they're presenting him?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think he's a very competent performer. You don't you put anybody in there with Rey Mysterio, they're gonna look good.
Yeah.
He doesn't have bad matches. He doesn't have good matches. He's just very right in the middle. He's very workmanlike. And in that group, you have three really dynamic talents. Bronson Reed is absolutely that Vader, Bam Bam Bigelow. He's a big dude who can do crazy moves off the top rope. He looks like somebody. You look at him, you're like, he looks like he's going to kill the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
He's terrifying. Braun Breaker obviously is the future of the WWE as far as they're concerned, and Logan Paul is an absolute just megastar of the highest order.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you need somebody like that though? I mean, to take a lot of the bullets for your faction. That's
well, if you're the guy taking the bullets and you're just sort of the fourth man, if you're the Danny Garcia of the group or the Wheeler Yuta of the group, fine, but you don't have that big debut where you're the masked man who helps the group win at Survivor Series.
True.
You become the most expendable member of the faction. It's why I thought he'd be fine slotted in to a tag team role.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then that's a like if you're trying to make him like this prodigy that's up and coming still or anything to that effect, it's not the way to do it for sure.
I mean, Warner Breeze hits the nail on the head right there. Said, I think Theory should team up with Johnny Gargano and bring back the Way.
Yeah.
If you're losing Ciampa, Gargano and Theory as a tag team absolutely works on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt about it.
And Wrestling Oldhead says, is Austin Theory the Danny Davis of the Vision? Wow, that's a deep pull. No, because Austin Theory would not be a compelling referee. I think in their mind's eye, they're looking at it like this is sort of the Horseman,
mm-hmm.
and if you've got Braun Breaker sort of positioned as your Rick, Bronson Reed is your enforcer. That's your Arn. The flashy role, your Barry Windham or your Tully Blanchard role, that's Logan Paul. And then you've got the fourth guy. And at this point, Austin Theory is basically Paul Roma.
Oh, my. Yeah. Wow. That's actually not a bad comparison, to be honest, right now. At this point.
Kevin Kellum says, is AJ done at Royal Rumble? I feel it could be quite positive to see him outlast Gunther, even in a dusty finish to fight another day. Well, I mean, we're going to be doing sort of long-term predictions. The reason, just for right now, just to kind of lay it out, since we love Kevin Kellum and he's one of the all-time greats of guest hosts on Rumor and Innuendo.
Yes, friend of the show.
Gunther retired Goldberg. Gunther retired John Cena. Gunther retiring AJ Styles and cheating us out of a 12-month AJ Styles retirement is heel heat that you can't buy elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of thing that you're not gonna get that at any other point in time. It also makes Gunther being the guy who beat John Cena feel that much more important. That John Cena sacrificed himself to get Gunther over, and now Gunther is on the way to become your top heel going into WrestleMania. That he can be a viable opponent for CM Punk. And it feels like, hey, this is a WrestleMania worthy kind of match. If AJ is still there, where do you go from here? There is no dream AJ Styles match. AJ ain't winning the world title. He's just going to be a guy on the roster, and there isn't someone else that he can go and lose to that's going to get an elevated rub. We've seen the Nakamura match. We already got the John Cena match. We got the CM Punk match. Braun Breaker beating him versus Gunther beating him. It's like it's a coin flip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think it is a right way to kind of handle AJ, I think, at this point. Like, you would get a lot of retread stuff going on with AJ because he's been such an active wrestler over the course of the past 10 years. It's a different thing for John Cena to show back up when he's wrestles like once or twice a year, and then he does like a little farewell tour, because you do get a lot of matches that we haven't seen before. With AJ, we've seen a lot of them already, and I just do think it makes a lot of sense. It would elevate Gunther even further. Like, I think they took some missteps here after Gunther beat Cena and to keep him hot. But this would get him right back on track if he beat AJ, I think, too, Robert.
I mean, it also furthers what we saw on Raw last night. CM Punk and AJ Styles going back and forth, and this notion of there ain't that many of us left. He said the same thing to Finn Balor. Like, the guys of our generation are few and far between. So Gunther being the guy to finish AJ Styles and cheat him out of this, and finish John Cena and cheat him out of his happy ending, and finish Goldberg and cheat him at, well, NBC editing cheated him out of his farewell.
Yeah.
Now it's like CM Punk is going, all right, I'm the lone gunslinger who's left. I got to stop this guy, because if I don't, no one else will. Now this feels like an important heel, as opposed to the guy who tapped out to Jey Uso and then lost his title to Punk and never got it back.
Not only that, but you're getting Punk defending the World Heavyweight Championship on a weekly basis, basically, at this point in time. So it's creating consistency and credibility to what Punk's doing. And if you have him and Gunther clash again, I think that would make a lot of sense and be an intriguing matchup again.
Well, one of the things we definitely saw on Raw that was meant to be intriguing is what happened with Finn Balor. And it's clear that they're doing sort of a war for Finn Balor's soul. We predicted it going down one path, and then when Saturday Night Main Event happened, it kind of seems to have gone down the other way. I thought that everybody in Judgment Day was going to wind up with gold except for Finn, and they were going to ultimately excommunicate him. Instead, it was Liv Morgan getting in Finn's ear and being like, "You're going to let this guy shake your hand, and you're just going to be friends? Like, you're kind of being a little bitch. Like, you need to man up." And then we got that enraged Finn Balor at the end of Raw attacking Punk. I don't think they're going to shoehorn it into the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I don't either.
But I think that you can absolutely get to a rematch next month.
Are you okay with that? Do you like that? How do you feel about the way?
Yeah, I mean, it's very similar to in a way, it's almost it's a better version of the story they told with Hangman and Samoa Joe, where you had Hangman and Joe wrestle each other in a match for respect, and then Hangman beat Joe, and then Joe turned on him after. And it was a little like, wait, what? In this instance, the fact that it's Liv Morgan pulling the strings and she's the woman behind what's going on with Judgment Day, boy, that's a lot more interesting of a character development for Liv.
Yeah, and it plays to what she's up to and, her heelish ways. Not only that, but you get a little, unlike the Joe Hangman situation, like you said, it happened immediately after. You get a week to kind of marinate in, like, oh, what's going to happen with Finn? It looks like he's got a buddy in Punk, and, they seem to take a different trajectory. So if they pull the rug out from under us, it's like, hey, Finn is turning babyface. They pull the rug out from under us again. It's a good way to cultivate even more heel heat. So
how many rugs do you have in your house? Like, I'm worried that this is such an immediate thing in your mind that you're counting.
Wait, 3. I got 3. Rugs.
You have 3 rugs.
Yeah, in my
apartment. This is a man with
4. One in my office.
You have an office?
Yeah, it's quote unquote a storage facility right now.
I'm fascinated by the layout of this apartment. It's kind of like, have you ever seen the graphic of the Seinfeld apartment, how it physically doesn't make sense?
Doesn't make
where
sense.
Where they're like the way that one of the door opens into the hallway, it's contradictory. Warner Bree says that rug really pulls the room together.
Yeah, ties the room together.
It really ties the room together. I know what the line is. I'm giving him the
Well, no, I was telling him.
What I enjoy is that was right after Wrestling Old Head Beta, No Country for Old Men reference. This is a very Coen Brothers centric episode of Rumor and Innuendo.
Oh man. Look who just entered the chat, Robert.
It's a random fan. So as a fan, what company would give AJ his best matches? Well, thanks, random fan who's not at all Scott Chaplin. Well, if you ask AJ Styles, the best matches are the ones that pay him the most money. So the answer is obviously WWE. if there's matches that he hasn't had an opportunity to do so. I will say, I did make this joke last night on X where Punk said, like, there's a locker room full of guys that are willing to give you great matches. And it was like, yeah, AEW. An executive at AEW liked that tweet. That's all I'm saying. It was
Hey,
a joke. It was a joke. They're not going anywhere further with it. But yes, if AJ needed a list of dream matches to still have, it's in AEW.
No
The
doubt.
opportunity for him to wrestle Osprey again, the opportunity for him to wrestle Swerve, another Kenny Omega match. I love that Scott's still arguing with me even when I'm agreeing with him in the comments.
Maybe he's watching on delay.
Knowing his internet, probably. He's still on dial up, but it's fine. Yes, in terms of 5-star matches, the best 5-star matches that AJ would get going forward would probably be in AEW. Storyline wise, they're not going to matter. And AJ Styles, it was Karrion Kross just in an interview where he said, like, AJ Styles was the guy who said, you can have all kinds of great matches. You need great storylines to make them matter. When he was talking about why TNA wasn't really gaining traction over the years, it was, yeah, you can put me in a match with Samoa Joe or Christopher Daniels or Jerry Lynn or Amazing Red or whatever it is. But when there's not something behind it to really make the audience care, the company doesn't thrive. But this Scott Chaplin guy's going all kinds of crazy. I love it.
He's poking the bear.
Yes.
I do like the aspect. I mean, it is intriguing. I mean, like, AJ could go to AEW if he really wanted to. Like, his contract's up. He's got no ties after that. If he wanted to, he could. So it is kind of neat to think about. Oh, man, could you imagine Swerve versus AJ?
Here's the problem, though. I have 2 words for you.
Okay.
Adam Copeland. There is no one on the planet, including Scott Marie Chaplin, who can say that Edge going to AEW was a significantly better choice for his career.
No doubt.
They have not demonstrated that they are able to pull this off. If the idea is AJ wants to have 1 or 2 exhibition matches of guys he hasn't wrestled, possibly. But is he going to jeopardize the next 10, 15, 20 years of TKO checks? No, because he can still go. The dude can still wrestle. He does not use the word retirement lightly. If the idea was his contract is up in February and he wants to leave, he would go and leave. That ain't how he's conducting himself in terms of business. And we saw with Ciampa. Ciampa did not get a big fond farewell from WWE. And I know that he is not the same performer in Hunter's eyes in terms of prestige and importance. But if AJ Styles was leaving, they would not be handling it the way they are.
Yeah, it's
I love that comment section. Scott Chaplin is the same as regular Scott Chaplin. Scott, you're the best. I love you. And now that I look, it's like, yeah, I've got missed texts. He's just,
oh man, is he? Well, hey, you know Scott Chaplin. He doesn't need Blue Chew to get hard for AJ.
I was just going to turn it into a Blue Chew read, but go ahead.
Yes.
Scott Chaplin's opinions are a limp dick. And speaking of limp dicks, guys, you already know what time it is. It's time to level up, and Blue Chew just dropped something crazy. I'm talking next level championship belt gold-plated energy. Blue Chew Gold is the newest innovation from the #1 chewable ED brand. This ain't your grandpa's little blue pill. This is the 4-in-1 beast incarnate that's setting the gold standard for performance. We're talking 2 ingredients for blood flow to keep that rocket pumping, mixed with apomorphine and oxytocin to turn up the arousal and connection in your brain and body. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Get 10% off your first month of Blue Chew Gold with code RUMOR. That's promo code RUMOR. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring this Scott Chaplin meltdown on Rumor and Innuendo.
Yes. Any other big takeaways? We had a Natty vignette.
Yeah, Raw sucked.
Well, what'd you think of the Natty vignette? Did that do anything significant? What was more alarming was the tweet she posted. Did you happen to see that?
No, I've not seen what Natty tweeted out.
It's very jarring. She's whizzing on the grave of Natalia, this version of her, and she's whizzing like a man on the grave. It's really.
I was just gonna say, like, the physics of that is going to be a little tricky.
Yeah, well, the physics are real. It's a jarring image. Let's just say that.
I'm really glad that wasn't our Blue Chew segment.
Right.
If you guys like watching Natty pee on her grave, have
Like
we
a
got
dude.
something for you?
Oh man. Yeah, otherwise, like, I don't, the women's tag stuff, the men's tag stuff too, it just felt kind of there, right? We get the Alpha Academy being the number one contenders, but I will say, I don't know if this was a mistake on Raw's part or WWE's part, but you could hear a lot of the audio in the ring this week. And I kind of liked it, like, because you could hear a lot of like the jarring and trash talking and stuff like that. So it kind of added a neat element to the program, at least. But I don't know, Robert.
I guess I didn't notice it all that much. Yeah, the Tozawa and Otis as your number one contenders. I don't know what they're doing on Raw. I'll be honest. It's like I get we're just trying to get through to Rumble so we can get through to Mania and start telling more interesting stories. But a women's six woman tag, total paint by numbers, like that is Dynamite 101 right there.
Yeah.
If you're just throwing out a bunch of six women tags, Rey Mysterio Austin Theory was fine, but it's such a mid card story that's just meant to lead to a segment in the Rumble. And I am an absolute sucker and mark for when it is your go home show for the Rumble. I want to see 30 guys in the ring brawling with each other.
It's a good point. We haven't gotten that in a while, have we?
Well, you can't get that because most of your big stars don't really show up. They could do that at the end of SmackDown if they really, really wanted to, but there's no impetus for the hard sell simply because it's a 2:00 in the afternoon show. We're all going to tune in. They ain't selling any tickets because it's a prepaid for event in Saudi Arabia. And I think I've talked to one person who said they're going to try to go to Mania in Saudi Arabia next year. One person.
Wow.
Normally for its Mania,
I'm surprised you even found somebody.
I have a diverse and eclectic collection of friends and personalities and luminaries and forbidden dorks who are part of our ecosystem. And we're thankful for each and every one of them. We're thankful they tune in to us every Monday through Friday at noon Eastern on a plethora of platforms, including the WW_Creative_ISHX account, the at SE Scoops X account, the at Dominic D'Angelo X account, and on YouTube on Rumor and Innuendo, Podcast Heat, and ad-free shows. So on behalf of the man who does not realize how loud his microphone is every time he moves it, Dominic D'Angelo, I'm Robert Karpolis. Best of luck in your future endeavors.
I must remain statuesque. Like Bob Barker.